Hello guys, good day everyone. This is the Creators Lodge and I welcome you to my YouTube channel. If this is your first time coming across my YouTube channel, please do well to subscribe to this channel and please like this video. Okay, so in today's tutorial, I'm going to be showing you guys how I designed this amazing flyer in the Pixellab application and how I added the light effects in the PICSART application. But before I go further, I want to teach you guys how to get inspiration. Okay, now whenever you want to do a design, whenever you are given a design, maybe a client says to you, okay, I need this design, do this for me, or you want to do a personal project, please guys, don't just open your Pixellab and start designing. Okay, don't just open your Pixellab and start going straight to the design. Always get your inspiration from Pinterest application. Pinterest application is an application that has it's a collection of different designs from different designers, and you are going to be getting a lot of amazing graphic designs from Pinterest. Whenever you want to do a design, always ensure that you first go to Pinterest, search a similar project to what you want to design, save the best. All right, save the best designs you can find pertaining to that project, and then you start looking at that project that you have saved and you create your own. Now I want to show you guys my inspiration for this design. Okay, now this is the inspiration I used for this design. All right, I got this inspiration from Pinterest, and I got it from a graphic designer, a professional graphic designer. His name on Pinterest is Ice Tunes. All right, so this is not my design, this is Ice Tunes design. I got it from Pinterest. I needed to design a restaurant flyer, and I needed inspiration for my design. So I went on Pinterest and I saw this design and I loved it. Now look at my inspiration. Okay, look at what I used as my inspiration and look at what I was able to create. Now if you check the two designs, you will see that it's almost similar but not exactly the same thing. All right, if you check my design, which is this Telephone African Kitchen, Lagos mainland, Nigeria, all right, it's almost the same. All right, from the top it's almost the same to this. It's almost the same, but it's not the same thing. So whenever you are getting your inspiration from Pinterest, try to model your design to look something like that, but not 100% like your inspiration. Once your design looks 100% like your inspiration, it's going to be tagged as plagiarism. All right, it's going to be tagged as you just replicating exactly a designer's work. All right, so once you get your inspiration on Pinterest, create something that looks like it. Be creative in your design. Okay, look at the inspiration I got on Pinterest. Look at the green pepper, the red pepper. Look at how the slant style of the Vicado restaurant. All right, and look at the food in the 3 cycles. Okay, now when we go back to mine, you are going to see, look at the slant text. The Delphone is slant, the African Kitchen is slant. I have the red pepper and I also have the yellow pepper. All right, but it's not exactly like my inspiration. It's something similar, and you can see that this design is nice and amazing. So whenever you want to do a design on Pinterest, always ensure that you get your inspiration from professional designers, so that when you are modeling your own design, you are going to be modeling something that is professional. If you just get your inspiration from any kind of design on Pinterest, your design will never be professional, because your design will look like what you are modeling from. Okay, so with this being said, let's get into the tutorial. So this is my Pixellab application, I'm just going to go straight to delete text. I'm going to delete this, and the next thing I want to do is to size my work. I going to go to image size, and for my width, I'm going to change my width to 3000. All right, that's the size I used for this work, 3000. And my height, I'm going to change to 4000 and click OK. All right, so the next thing I want to do is to import from my gallery. I love bringing in my original design so that it can guide me on how to go about the tutorial. All right, so I'm going to click on from gallery. Alright guys, so this is my original image, and I'm just going to mark this. Okay, so I'm going to increase the size. I'm going to go to the shapes and increase the relative size to 100, and the height also to 100. I'm going to mark this, and I'm going to lock this layer so that it doesn't move around. Alright, yes, so now we have our original image. Next thing I want to do is to bring in the background I used. So I'm going to click from gallery again, and I'm going to click this. All right, this is the background I used. I'm going to mark this, and I'm going to increase my relative size to 100 and my height to 133. I'm going to mark this, and I'm going to lock the layer. Okay, now my background is here. The next thing I want to do is to bring in the sticker. But before I start bringing in all these things, I want to show you, if you look at this original design, you are going to see that on the left hand side of this design, my words are aligned to the food. Okay, now whenever you want to do a design, in my previous tutorial I made mention that whenever you want to do a design, first click on your grid. Okay, click on your grid, which I also call your ruler. Okay, and once you are done clicking on the grid, it's going to bring so many lines. Okay, then click on the grid setting at the bottom here. Click on grid setting. Okay, and once you click on grid setting, click on this rotate, this last icon that looks like return. So I'm going to click on it, and I'm going to change number of horizontal guides to 2, number of vertical guides, I'm going to change it to 2, and click OK. Now what I want to achieve is I want to create a margin for my design such that whatever I'm designing will not go out of the margin. Everything I'm going to be designing will be inside of a box. So now I'm going to move this towards this direction. All right, now you can see I'm moving it close to the food at the right hand side. All right, okay, now I'm going to move this other one to this place. All right, so everything I'm doing is not going to leave this box, and it's going to be aligned. Okay, everything is going to be aligned vertically, and everything should be aligned horizontally. So I'm going to move the horizontal also. I'm going to move it here this way. Okay, I'm going to move it here, and I'm going to move the bottom part this way. So nothing, my words, nothing must come out of this box. Nothing must go into the margin. Right, the yellow pepper, the red pepper, they are free to go out of the margin, but the major details should not leave this box. They should not go out of the margin. All right, so now that I'm done drawing my ruler or my meter rule, I'm going to just click this place. All right, so I'm going to just click here now. Now the next thing I want to do is to write the text del font. Okay, so I'm going to go to my text, click on text, and let me change my color to black. So I'm going to go to my font. Okay, let me write the text first. Del font. Click OK. Yeah, so I'm going to go to my fonts, and I am going to make use of let me click Lustre Master Bold and see. Okay, Lustre Master Bold. Let's see if that's the font I used. All right, I used Lustre Master Bold. So if you look at my original font, you are going to see that it's slant. it has this perspective, all right, but the one I just typed in now doesn't have a perspective. So I'm going to make this layer invisible now, and I'm going to go to perspective, and I'm going to click on perspective, all right, and click enable. So once you click enable, okay, let me put on the original so that I'm going to use it as a guide, okay, to help us do this perspective, all right. So let me change this font from Lustre Master Bold. I want to change it to Lustre Master Regular, all right, Lustre Master Regular. I'm going to drop the link, to download the fonts in the video description, okay. So now that I've written my font, the next thing I want to do is to go to my perspective. I'm going to click perspective, click enable, and then I'm going to start holding. Let me make this layer invisible. I'm going to hold the top of this my perspective, the right hand side, all right, the right hand side at the top. I'm going to draw upwards a little, all right. You have to be very, very careful with your perspective, okay, so you don't disfigure the text, all right. So I'm going to draw a little. I'm going to raise it up, and I'm going to click on the bottom dot again at the right hand side, and I'm going to stretch a little and draw this way again, all right, something like this, all right, something like this, something like this. You just have to keep on working on it till you get it perfect, all right, something like this. Let me see, let me mark this and see. Let me make my original image visible and see. Yes, now you can see we have something similar for our original image. Can you see it? Can you see that it's similar? Okay, so now I've gotten the perspective, okay, for Delphone. So I'm going to make this. The next thing I want to bring in is this shape where I wrote African kitchen, all right. So I'm going to go to my shapes, all right. I'm going to click on shapes, and I'm going to just reduce the shape to something like this, just reduce this way, okay, and I'm going to mark this. Now I'm going to go to my color, all right, and enable color. I'm going to gradients, okay. Now I already have the gradients I used, okay. I didn't use color, I made use of gradient, and I already have the gradient color. So I'm just going to give you guys the color palette now. So I'm going to go to my gradient and click. This is the gradient I used, all right. So I'm going to click the add button so I can show you the color code for this first gradient, which is the top part. I'm going to click this bucket to show you. So the color code is CC1C1C. So whenever you want to work on color code, just click on this type in tool, all right. Click on this type in tool. Any color code I give you, you just put it at the top, all right. You would highlight this and paste the color code that I gave you at the top, all right. So the color code is CC1C1C, all right. CC1, let me type it, CC1C1C, okay. So once you type that, sometimes the color might not reflect in this box even after typing the color code. So what you have to do is you unmark this blue mark icon here. You unmark. Sometimes you unmark, then it will reflect. And sometimes if you see that it has reflected, you don't need to unmark. Or sometimes if it has not reflected, just mark that place, all right. So I have the color, so I don't want to change it again. So I'm just going to click OK. Then the second the bottom color palette, I'm going to click on this second part, and I'm going to click on my bucket too, color bucket. So the color code is, I'm going to click on this. The color code is it's 44440000. It's looking like black color, but it's not black color. If you can see the color composition, you see that the red is 68, the green is 0, and the blue is 0. So it's a red color, but it's a deep, it's a red color that looks somehow like black, okay. So it's 440000. So you click OK, click OK. So this is a gradient, all right, and my gradient is top to bottom, all right. We have different kinds of gradients. You can click here, you will see from left to right, all right. You can click here, top to bottom. You can click here, like a slant gradient. You can click here. This one is a cycle gradient. All right. So there are different types of gradient, but this is the specific one I used. Okay, top to bottom. All right. So you click OK. So now you can see we have our gradient here. So I'm going to mark this. Now the next thing I would want to do, you can see in our original image, you're going to see that the shape is also slant like the telephone. So the next thing I'm going to do is that I'm going to go to my perspective again. All right, first I'll centralize this. I'll click on relative position and make this centralized. Then I'm going to perspective, click enable, and I'm going to draw again the same way we did. I'm going to draw from the top here, and I'm going to draw from the bottom here again. Okay, so I'm going to draw from the top. I'm going to draw from the bottom. So let me mark this and see. Let me see our original image and see. Okay, now you can see, yes, it's similar to the shape we drew in the original image. Okay, so now we have gotten this. I'm just going to make this layer invisible. Yeah, so now I'm going to relative position this to the middle. Yes, we've gotten this. Okay, we've gotten telephone and we've gotten the shape. Okay, it's a bit bent, so I'm going to correct that again. All right, this perspective, you have to be very, very intentional about it. Don't just start drawing the perspective. Perspective has a way of disfiguring your work, and it also has a way of beautifying your work. So you have to be very intentional in ensuring that you get it right. Okay, so I'm going to this top part is kind of a little bit too much, so I want to work on it and see. One more. I'm going to correct one more thing. Okay, all right, so we've gotten perspective. So the next thing I want to do is I'm going to click on new font, click out and click on this letter A, new font. Okay, I don't want to just click letter A, because if I click letter A and click new font, we're going to start another round of perspective again. All right, meanwhile we could actually just copy this del font, just copy it and change the text to African kitchen. It will retain the perspective. It will save us of going through the stress of creating another perspective. All right, so once I just click African kitchen, now you can see the perspective is already there. So I just go to my font and just change the font, and the font I used for African kitchen is this Aquat Demo Regular. I'll also drop the link for you to download it, Aquat Demo Regular. All right, so I'm going to go to my paddle and increase my paddle by the left and on the left and on the right. And the reason is because if you look at the letter A of this African, you will see that it's not fully expressed. The full font of that letter A is not fully expressed. So I'm going to go to my paddle, okay, and I'm going to increase. Now you can see as I'm increasing, it's coming out. Yes, so I'm going to increase to number 6, and I'm also going to increase my right paddle to 6. Okay, so now we have the African kitchen fully expressed, and I'm going to just place it here like this, and I'm going to go to my color and change my color to white. Yes, okay, so let me check my original image and see. Okay, remember we are working with the original image for our guide. Okay, so I'm going to increase this like this. Yes, okay. All right, so let me just move this here this way. I'm also going to drop the original image. I'm going to make it available, all right, so that you guys can also use the original to model yours. All right, so I'm going to make this layer invisible, and I'm going to bring my African kitchen here. Okay, so now my African kitchen is not really aligning in the right perspective. Okay, it's not really aligning in the right perspective. Let me check my original. So okay, so let me just increase the size. um something like this. Let me see if I'll rotate minus or okay. So what I just did is to increase the size of the African kitchen, and I rotated by -2. Okay, so you can do that, -2. Yes, -2. Okay, so let me see now. Yes, nice. So now I'm going to reduce the size to about 46. Let me see. Yes, okay. So I'm just going to move it this way by 2. Okay. Now don't forget, guys, I used to say that what we want to model might not look 100% like our original, but because it's the same designer that is modeling it, so it's definitely going to look like 99% or 98% of it. All right, so the next thing we want to do is to bring in this our ribbon and type in our coming soon. So I'm also going to drop the link to download the ribbon. So I'm going to my gallery. All right, so this is the ribbon, so I'm just going to mark this, and I'm going to reduce the size this way. Okay, let me make use of the original to see how the size is reduced. Okay, yes, good. So I'm just going to reduce the size this way. Yes, okay. So now that we have done this, we're just going to type in coming soon. All right, coming soon. Okay, coming soon. Now the coming soon, you are not going to make use of now I clicked on new text. All right, I'm going to change my color to black. You are not making use of perspective tool. All right, just go straight and type in the coming soon. All right, so break the word. Okay, break it, and coming soon and punctuation mark, just one. And I'm going to my font. The font I used for coming soon is Montserrat. I think Montserrat bold, right? Let me see. I think it's Montserrat bold. Yes, so Montserrat bold. So, and you're going to go to your align and go to align and click on center alignment. All right, center alignment. So I'm going to reduce this. I'm going to just place it here this way. I'm going to still reduce again because it's too big. Coming soon is too big. All right, so I'm just going to bring down again, something like this. So let me see our original image. Okay, let me bring down again the coming soon. Okay, I just want it to be aligned. Okay, now what I'm going to do, I'm going to reduce the line spacing a little. I want it to be aligned with our original. All right, so let me reduce the line spacing by, let me just say 4, and then I'll increase the size again by, let me say 1. Okay, yes, so the size is 28. All right, 28, and the line spacing is -4. So you can copy the settings. Okay, so I'm just going to make the layer invisible because we've gotten what we want to do. Yes, so the next thing we want to do, I'm going to make this layer invisible. So now we have our coming soon, we have our Delphone African kitchen. Okay, so the next thing we want to do, we want to bring in this, this the yellow pepper and the red pepper. All right, so I have already blurred it on photo room. All right, I shared in one of my tutorial how to create a church flyer. I shared in one of my tutorial and also how to create a birthday flyer, how you can blur images in photo room. All right, so if you have not watched the video, please I would urge you to watch the video. So I'm going to bring in the pepper right now from my gallery. All right, so this is the image I used. So I'm just going to crop out the photo room logo, and I'm going to mark this. All right, so I already blurred this. I'm just going to reduce this. All right, so I'm going to reduce it to fit in like our original. So I'm going to look at how we placed in our original. Okay, so I'm going to rotate this way, reduce it again. All right, rotate and just place it here. Yes, yeah, something like this. Okay, something like this. Doesn't need to be 100% perfect. So remember, we have two of it. We have also on the right hand side. All right, so I'm just going to go to my shapes, go to copy, and bring um, this here also and reduce it this way so that it will equal to this size. Yes, so we have the two here. Now you can see, let me make my image invisible so you can see the two yellow pepper here. So I want to bring in the red pepper. All right, Alright, so this is the red pepper I used. Alright, I got these images. Most of the images I'm using, I got them from Pinterest, or you go to an application called Image Searchman. Once you open your Image Searchman, whatever you are looking for, Image Searchman will outsource those things from Google, from different browsing sites, and bring it to you in a very easy way. But the disadvantage of using Image Searchman is that you don't get 100% quality. You don't get, your image is not going to be 100% sharp. All right, so most times if you want to get your images, it's best you download from png sites like pngwink.com. all right, and you can also download from freepik. Okay, you can also download from freepik, but most times I download from Pinterest, and I download from freepik and png.wink. all right, pngwink.com rather. Okay, so I'm just going to mark this, and I'm going to reduce this size this way. All right, guys, just follow me. Okay, I'm going to reduce this size. Let me make the original visible again so that we can see what we are doing. So I'm just going to place it this way. Yeah, I'm going to place it this way, and I'm just going to increase the size this way. All right, yes, yes, yes. So now you can see, yes, we're getting to the final stage. Okay, so one more thing, there's a red pepper at the top. Okay, this top, so I'm just going to bring that in. Now I'm going to bring it from my gallery again. So this is the red pepper. It's the same pepper that I used in this place, right? It's the same as this pepper, right? It's just that I've blocked this on the photo room, in photo room application. All right, so please yes, so I'm just going to bring this here, and I'm going to make this layer visible so that I can help myself to, rotate and see how I placed it. Okay, so I'm going to rotate this and trying to see the exact placement. Okay, um yes, exactly, yes, so we are done with the placement. Let me just move it this way. Yes, so we are done with the placement. Good. So the next thing I want to lock these layers that I just brought in. All right, I don't want to mistakenly touch them such that they will move out of position. So I've locked these layers now. So the next thing I want to do is to bring in my food. All right, so first thing you need to do is to create a cycle. Click on shapes. Your radius should be 100 to change it to cycle, or you can click this box and click on cycle and mark this. So I'm going to reduce this size and to make it equal to the size, the size of the food. All right, so yes, let me just make it equal like this. Now guys, if you notice something, the margin I drew is still on my work. Do you notice that the margin is still on my work? Now the margin is going to guide me till I'm done with this work. Now you can see this shape I placed my coming soon on did not go out of the margin. I want us to be very conscious of this, because this is one thing that makes your design unique. When your design is not just scattered, things are not here and there, you have aligned your work, right? It's the beauty of the design. It's part of the beauty of the design. So before starting out this design, please ensure that you have your margin in place. Okay, so you don't need the measurement, but you just have to use your eyes to see that the space at the top is equal to the space at the bottom, and is equal to the space at the right hand side and on the left hand side. If you look at my margin, you see that the space in between these margins is almost equal. All right, so please ensure that. Okay, so now I have my cycle here. It's white. That's the reason why you can't really see it like that. So it's white color. Yes, So the second thing I did, again, if you look at my design, you will see that there's white and then there's brown. No, not really brown, something that looks like orange, kind of orange and yellow. All right, so I actually you can either add stroke to your white shape, all right, but if you add stroke to your white shape, it's not going to really give you this feel, because the color I used is kind of yellow and something that looks like orange. That's the combination I used. But if I go to stroke on this my shape that I drew here now, if I go to stroke, if I want to add gradient, the stroke does not give me the opportunity to add gradient. It only gives me the opportunity to add one color. So but I want to add gradient. I want the gradient because the shape I placed beneath the major shapes of this food is a gradient color, which is yellow and orange. All right, so to do that, I'm going to duplicate this shape, this same shape I drew just now. I'm going to duplicate this shape. I'm going to click on my copy, then I'm going to my color. I'm going to go to color, enable color, and go to gradient. So once you go to gradient, you click on the gradient you want to create. I've already created my gradient. Now you can see this is not exactly one color, it's the mixture of two color. And if you look at this color, it's something similar to the color of the shape we used for our coming soon. So you can see that I am not just using, this is another principle in graphic design, guys. You don't just go about adding different colors because I love this color, I want it to be my design. No, you don't go about adding different colors. Your color should be unique and it should be consistent in your design. Now if you look at this design, if you look at the original design, you will see that I consistently made use of two types of color. I used the red and I used the yellow with a touch of orange. So you can see that it's consistent throughout the design. I don't just go about picking any kinds of color. For starters, as you are just starting, I'll advise you in every design you want to do not use more than 3 colors. And please make sure that the colors are good color. All right, you are not doing something that looks like a color riot. The same way you want to put on your dress, you want to dress for an occasion, and your brain will tell you that, okay, this color combination I'm putting on is the best color combination for this event. This color combination I'm putting on is not the best combination for this event. That is the same way your brain should work in graphic design, guys. Yes, it should literally tell you that this color I'm using doesn't go well. All right, you know, just like maybe I'm trying to look for a color now. Maybe you using a very loud pink color and then you now use green color on that pink color, something like that. You know, colors that look very off, right? So you need to be very creative in your thinking when you are using colors. At most, don't use more than 3 colors. And when you are designing, your font should not be more than 3, because when your fonts start leaving 3 fonts, your design start having a kind of feel that is not really communicating its essence. So ensure you stay on at most 2 fonts. My designs, I usually make use of just 2 fonts. Sometimes I even make use of 1. On very rare occasions will I make use of 3 fonts. All right, and color, I stay with either 2 colors or 3 colors. All right, so that being said, this is one principle that I should never forget, please. So I'm going to mark this and I'm going to bring it here, but I'm going to take it back behind this white shape. This is our white shape. All right, I'm going to click here and take it back. All right, so let me lock this white shape so it doesn't move around. Yeah, no, this is it. Yes, so I'm just going to align this shape we drew now, this gradient. Okay guys, I didn't show you the color code for the gradient, so I'm going to show you guys now. All right, I'm going to show you guys now. Yeah, so let me just move this way and see, and let me increase it again, maybe by let me see. Yes, so we have this. So let me go to my color, this gradient. I'm going to click here. So for the top color, the code I used is F57812. all right, F57812. Click OK. And for the bottom, the color I used is F59801. all right, F59801. So I'm going to click OK. so you can copy and paste that. All right, so I'm going to mark this. So now we have the first shape. Next thing I want to do is to just start duplicating this, these shapes. All right, I'm going to duplicate this, copy. I'm going to centralize. Yes, I'm going to bring it down and then start aligning. Okay, I want it to be aligned with what we have here. All right, I want it to be aligned. I'm just going to take it back so it doesn't stay on. Now you can see it's resting on the white cycle. I don't want it to rest on the white cycle, so I'm going to take it behind the white cycle. All right, yes, so now it's behind the white cycle. So I'm going to copy this white cycle also, and I'm going to centralize it, bring it down using your position, take it up. All right, something like this. Yes, so I'm going to copy the white cycle again because we have 3 cycles there. I'm going to take it here, bring it down and move it upwards again, but it must not go out of your margin. Bring it in. If it's going out of your margin, bring it in. I get complaints and people say the space is not enough. That's the reason why it's going out of my margin. You are the designer, all right? So you are the one to create your space. Create the space for the work. If the space is not enough, compress your details. All right, compress your details and create space for your work. All right, so I'm going to mark this. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to be doing is to duplicate the last shape for the back design. Yes, so for this, so that's the next thing I'm going to be doing. All right, so I'm just going to bring it here and I'm going to take it to back. Okay, so I'm going to take it to back, yes, like this. All right, so I'm just going to use my position tool to arrange it a bit. All right, yes, so now if you noticed, my own shape is already out of the margin, so I'm just going to move it back into the margin. All right, like I said, you compress your work. If you see that it's coming out of the margin, all right, you compress your work. So I'm just going to move this way. Okay, no, not this. Yes, I'm just going to move this way. Let me see. Yes, so we're going to leave it like this. Yes, exactly, something like this. Yes, so we've been able to achieve the shapes. So the next thing we want to do, I'm going to bring this to front. Yes, so the next thing I want to do is to draw this shape like this. All right, so and how did I achieve that? Now there's a tool in Pixellab called the Bezier tool, which is this tool. All right, it's in the shape icon, so I'm going to click the Bezier tool. Now the only thing I use Bezier tool for, if you are a master of Bezier tool, is an amazing tool. All right, such an amazing tool. All right, used for illustrations in Pixellab, but the only thing I use it for is to draw shape. All right, and the shape I want to draw is the shape we have in our original image. So how do I do that? Once you click on the Bezier tool, once I click Bezier tool, it will automatically bring this out. All right, so the next thing I want to do is I'm going to click on these actions. I'm going to click on the 4th action. All right, and this place action, there's 1 2 3 4. I'm going to click on this 4th action. All right, and I'm going to increase my scale such like this. Yes, like this, 178. I'll mark this. I'll edit again the Bezier tool. All right, so once you click on edit again, what I want to do now, I want to increase the stroke. So I'm going to increase the stroke, all right, something like this, to 40. All right, so I'm going to mark this. I increased it to the highest stroke. All right, so I'm going to increase this size this way. Now what I want to do now, in our original image, our Bezier is rotated. All right, so I'm going to rotate. I'm going to rotate this way. All right, and I'm just going to place it here and use this to guide myself while I'm designing. So I'm going to increase this way. Yes, and I'm going to rotate again and see until I get the perfect shape. All right, hi guys, I hope you are seeing what I'm doing. All right, so now I just rotated this, and let me put my rotation angle to 22. Yes, so I'll leave it at 22. So guys, can you see my rotation angle is 22? Yes, okay, let me rotate again. Okay, let me see. Yes,
Okay, so let me leave it this way. Now you can see it. So if I cover our original image, so now you can see. All right, now you can see, but it's above. Our bezier tool is on top of one of the shapes, so I'm going to take our bezier the image, the shape. I'm going to take it back of all the cycles so that it can be behind the cycle, something like this. You can see it. So now you can see our original. Yes, so the next thing I want to do, I'm going to draw back my ruler. Yes, so the next thing I want to do is I want to give color to our bezier tool. All right, now let me see the color we gave here. So I used still the gradient, so I'm going to go to my color and click color. All right, I'm going to enable, and you go to gradient. Okay, now this is the color I used. All right, this is it. The top of this color is CC1 C1C. all right, still the same color we used for the shape we used for African kitchen. So the second color palette, the color code is 440000. So I'm going to click OK on this. OK, and I'm going to mark this. Now you can see we are going somewhere and we are getting there. All right, so I'm going to lock this layer of our bezier tool. All right, now the next thing we want to do is to give color beneath our bezier tool, this red color. So I'm just going to make this layer invisible, and I'm going to click on my draw tool. Yes, and I'm going to increase my pen size to 80. Okay, and I'm going to click this color. All right, the color code is red. It is 530E00. I'm going to click OK, and I want to color. All right, so I'm just going to color this way. Yes, so I'm just going to color. Should I say I'm just drawing a shape? All right, I'm drawing a shape now. So this is the shape using the bezier tool. Okay, so I'm going to move this shape behind the bezier tool. All right, it's on top of the bezier shape that we drew. So I'm going to take it back. All right, I'm going to send it behind. Yes, so I have something like this. Okay, we are almost done in Pixellab. So I'm going to lock this layer. Now you can see I have this. See our original. All right, see our original here, and then see what we just created. Now you can see it's not 100% like it, but like I used to say, it's going to be 99% like it. All right, so the next thing we want to do is to start putting in the shapes of the food. All right, so we have this first food here. I'm going to just bring it in. I'm going to click on the shape now. Yes, the shape for us to insert the food, the first food. Yes, so I'm going to go to texture, click on texture. All right, and to my gallery, just going to click on it this way and just mark. All right, once you mark, it will automatically reflect inside of the cycle. I'll go to the second shape. Okay, yes, so I'll click texture and click texture again. Once I just mark this, it's going to reflect. All right, let me check the original and see. Okay, I'm going to click texture again. The texture did not fill in well. All right, so I'm going to click the texture again. And this time around I'm going to reduce the size. I don't want the background of where the food is sitting on to show. I just want only the food to show inside of the cycle. So I'm going to reduce it this way, and I'm going to click OK. Now you can see we have the food inside. So the last we want to do is to bring in our assorted meats. I'm going to click this meat, and I'm going to impute this in the cycle. All right, now we are now in the finishing stage. All right, so you can see now we are almost getting there. So the last thing we are going to be doing in Pixellab is to impute this Lagos Island, Nigeria. All right, and how did I achieve that? I used the font Montserrat font. So I'm going to click letter A, click on font, and I'm going to write Lagos mainland. I'm going to change the color, all right, to black. Yes, so when you're done changing the color, the next thing I want to do is to change the font. I actually use Montserrat font. I'm going to drop the link to download the font if you don't have it. I think it's Montserrat bold I used. Yes, Montserrat bold. So I'm just going to centralize this way. Yes, so I'm going to centralize this, and the color I used for this Lagos mainland, I made use of a gradient color. All right, the same gradient color I've been using. I'm going to go to color, click on gradient. All right, And this is the gradient color I used, but now it's going to be a cycle gradient. It's not this pattern now. All right, this same gradient color. Let me show you guys the color code. The red is CC1, C1C, C1C, and the other color is E78F01. You can also use this color code that we used for the stroke of, this shape that we placed beneath the food. All right, so you can use any of the two. So but I'll use this, yes, and I'm going to change the gradient to radial, something like this. All right, yes, so I'm going to click OK. Yes, exactly. So this is it. Now we have Lagos, mainland, Nigeria. Yes, so the last thing we want to do now is to add our menu and the food. All right, our menu and the food. Now the same font I used for African kitchen is the same font I will use to write our menu. All right, so I'm just going to like speed up this part. All right, I'm going to speed up this part. Alright, so now we are done with writing the text. So I'm just going to move this menu a little bit upwards. Now the fonts I used for this text is also Montserrat. I just use Montserrat medium. Alright, so Montserrat medium. Now the last thing I want to add in Pixellab is this dot. Alright, this this dot, and it's very easy. What I actually did is to copy this text, this Lagos mainland text, and change it and just put full stop. All right, put a full stop, just one, and click OK. All right, so I'm going to change the color to white. Yes, so I'm going to change the color to white, and I'm going to increase the size this way. So that's just how you create that full stop. All right, so I'm going to mark this, and I'm going to move this way. All right, if it's too big, you can reduce. If it's too small, you can increase. All right, so I'm going to move it this way. Okay, so let me reduce the size a little bit. It's kind of big for me. All right, so let me reduce it this way, 78. All right, so I'm just going to move it this way. Okay, so the next thing I want to do now is I'm going to copy. While moving it, just ensure that it's aligned. All right, your movement is aligned. Okay, so it's at the middle of each line. All right, it's not like it's slightly at the top or slightly at the bottom. All right, so I'm going to copy this. Sorry, I'm going to copy, and I'm going to bring down again. So that's how you keep copying till you are done with fixing it. All right, you just copy, you arrange, make sure it's aligned, make sure it's straight, it's at the middle. All right, you keep copying. All right, you just keep copying. Okay, yes, you just keep copying and just aligning it. That's how you do it. There's nothing special about it. All right, just keep copying, align, copy again. Once you're done copying that, you copy again. Sorry, keep copying. All right, guys, so we are done copying, and we are done on Pixellab. All right, so the next thing we want to do, you can see our original. All right, and you can see what we just created. So the next thing you want to do is to save this. You save as project. When you are done, you save as project, save whatever you want to save, so it can save on your Pixellab. And when you are done, you save as image, and you click on Ultra, and you click save, and let it be on JPEG. So now we are going to PICSART because we want to add the light effects. All right, let's move on to PICSART. All right, guys, so you're welcome to PICSART application. So the next thing we want to do is to bring in our light effect and also bring in the image we blended in the background. So let me go to my gallery, going to click on add photo. All right, guys, so this is the light effect I added. So what you are going to do now, you're going to go to your blend, click on blend, and click on screen. Yes, so once you click on screen, you're going to place the light effect somewhere here close to the African kitchen. Then you click at the top again, close to your eraser tool at the top, you click duplicate, you bring another one of the light effect here again, close to your telephone. Yes, then you click duplicate again, and you bring that here to this region here close to your food. Yes, you click duplicate again, and you bring one here again. All right, you position one here again, then you click duplicate again, and you bring one beneath this place. I'm going to be putting 4 at the bottom, 4 of the light effect. So this is 2. I duplicate again, and this is 3, and then I'm going to duplicate one more time, and I'm going to place it somewhere here. Yes, so that is how you achieve your light effect. So look at what we just did now, and I'm going to show you the original. All right, look at the images. All right, it has the light effect also. So the last thing we want to be doing in PixArt, all right, is to impute the image on the background. If you look at our original image, you look at the African kitchen, towards this kitchen, where it is written kitchen, you're going to see something like a background there. All right, and also this African, you're going to see a background there, and also this at the top of the design, and also at the bottom of the design, you're going to see like this assorted meat background. So that's what we're going to be imputing now. So I'm going to go to my PixArt now, and I'm going to click on add photo. So this is the background I'm going to be blending in. Still the same image we use for the assorted meat in Pixellab. All right, but first I'm going to click on my eraser tool at the top. Yes, so I'm going to reduce my hardness, all right, to about 56, and I'm going to increase the size of my brush to about 76. So I'm going to brush through the edges of my meat, not inside. All right, just the edges. I don't want it to have a very hard feel on our design. So I'm going to brush through the 4 edges. Okay, I just want it to be soft. Yes, so I have something like this. When I'm done, I'm going to mark. All right, just mark once. So once you mark once, you increase the size. Now you are going to go to your blend again, click on blend and click on screen. Yes, can you see? This is lovely. Wow, can you see this? So I'm going to place it somewhere here. Yes, then I'm going to duplicate again, click on duplicate, and I'm going to place it here again. Exactly. Wow, this is nice. Now you can see I can no longer duplicate. The reason is because I've duplicated so much for this particular project. So once you see that you can no longer duplicate, just click on this mark icon at the top. All right, so I'm going to click on this mark icon. Now once I click on this mark icon, I will now start another duplication again, but by this time I'm going to be adding from my gallery again. The reason why I could not duplicate again was because I've exhausted the amount of duplication. All right, so now that I've clicked on the mark button, I'm going to go to add photo again and bring in the assorted meat again, so that we can put it at the bottom part of this design. Alright guys, so this is the assorted meat. I'm just going to go through the same process. Click your eraser tool, reduce your hardness, increase the size, and brush through the side, to just give it the soft feel. Okay, just brush through the sides. Alright, yes. So once you are done with this, you click on the mark. So now this time around, I'm going to be placing it at the bottom here, and I'm going to go to my blend and click screen. Yes, you can see that, but it's too much. So I'm going to go to opacity. You see opacity, and then you reduce your opacity to about 22. All right, yes, so you can see 22. Okay, now when you are placing your assorted meat here, don't let it go to the top of this your images. All right, so it doesn't create another feel. Let it only be at this bottom background. We just want it to be at this bottom background here like this. So I'm going to duplicate again, and I'm going to move one here again, and I'll duplicate one last time, and I'm going to move it here. Exactly. So now you can see how we got this right. So I'm going to duplicate again, and I'm going to bring it to the top. All right, so I'm going to duplicate, and I'm going to bring it at the top here again, and I'm going to duplicate one more time, and I'm going to bring it at this second side, but I'm going to increase the opacity of these two we duplicated at the top. I'm going to increase the opacity to the fullest, and I'm going to just put it here like this. I don't want it to stay on the telephone text, so I'm going to click on this other one at the top and increase the opacity to yes, I will leave it at 65. Yes, so now you can see that we have gotten the same design as our original.
Alright guys, so this is how you create this flyer design in Pixellab and on the PICSART application. Okay, so now once you are done, you're just going to click on this mark button here at the top, and then you are going to see a download button, or sorry, you're going to see a drop down button at the top. Just click this drop down button and it's going to show you save to your phone gallery. Alright, thank you so much guys for staying to the end of this tutorial. I hope you love this tutorial. If this is your first time, please don't forget to subscribe and turn on the notification button so that you can be notified when next I drop a video. Alright guys, see you in my next tutorial.